Hey everybody, it's Matt 5x5 taking a look at ETNL, Eternal Image. It's a pink sheet stock. It's in the process of an uplist to the OTC bulletin board. A couple things I want to point out here. This is about a 10-month chart. Anything really before here wasn't telling me much that I wanted to see. Right now I want to see kind of a more recent bottom support level, which is at 012. Pretty close to it. Came down and almost touched it. You can see it had a low of 0.125 on Friday, closed at 0.14. One thing to notice here is that this equates to about $1,400 in volume. So the volume level for ETNL is still very low, um, for especially for its share structure and its price per share. Couple things to look at here. The RSIs are actually not looking bad. Slight little uptrend in the 5. Trying to make a move now to cross the longer ones, the 14 and 21. Need to see them cross and get a push up towards 50. Get this thing looking a little bit more bullish. We want to see this bottom support hold. That's a pretty important factor right there. MACD full still, both not looking too bad. The MACD, the histogram heading towards 0. A possible cross coming here of the MACD through the 9 EMA, fast line through the slow line, as it's called. The PPO ADX kind of in what I call a lot of times like a delayed pinch. Didn't exactly come together. This is a little ugly. The ADX, we're hoping for a whipsaw here and see this negative DI get moving back down in the near future. We're not looking for this to get moving stronger. We're going to be waiting a lot longer for it to come together and set the chart up. MFI is still a little ugly as well, although we're getting the 7 coming up through the 14s and 21s, but the longer MFIs are still looking a little rough. We need them to get turning. Accumulation distribution still, that's not bad looking at all. Maybe the slightest little downtrend to it recently while the PPS is dropping pretty hard, but that's not sitting too bad. Anyway, big things here I think is one, this is a little bit of a speculative play with the uplist. People are hoping for a pop. I'm not talking about any of that right from this point though. What I'm looking at is the chart. And this chart tells me I want it to hold 012. I also zoomed in a little bit on a 6-month chart. I pulled it back to that 10 months so you can see the bottom support at 012, which I just put a little tick mark there to show where that is. The thing that it's going to have to deal with again that you saw from this chart is the heavy support resistance when at this point it's resistance through this 016, 018 area. It was quite a battle to get through it before, and when it finally popped through, you'd be hoping for, well, when you get the pop, what you're hoping for, but you'd hope that it would come back down at worst and catch these longer moving averages and maybe this trend line, which was coming up, somewhere through here. You'd hope it would catch that trend line and at worst and catch a bounce back up with all the support levels and the trend line and the moving averages, but it didn't. So now you got to hope for a bottom support to hold. But anyways, you can see that it's pretty heavy resistance. It's going to reach from 16 to 18. When you zoom in here, you can see it a little bit more clear. For starters, obviously, I want to see it get above the short, at least the 5 moving average, then the 10 moving average. You want to start, let's see the parabolic SAR make its flip, different things like that. ETNL needs to hold this bottom support and then start to make a turn and get some strength to it because right now it's bordering, it's looking weak and it's bordering on a very weak play if it can't hold above 12 and then deal with this resistance that's going to be coming in. You're going to see it at a few different levels. I mean, right now it's going to set up the way it's going with you know, there it's actually above some. 14 is going to start setting up as some, but your heavier stuff is going to start rolling in here at 15, and then again 16, a little bit more at 17, and then pretty heavy again at 18. So it's a here's where I am. I'm at point A, and if I want to get to point B or point C or whatever, how's that got to happen? Well, it starts by making some moves through some of these lower levels of resistance and then, beating its head and pushing through some of the heavier levels of resistance. The charts aren't set terrible, but they're not set what I would call perfect by any stretch of the imagination, but I'm in this. I've made it publicly aware that I'm in this. I'm in at a 165 when I was hoping to hold this support, and I didn't abide by my own rules and get out when it broke those support levels. I actually held on. Not in super deep, so we're okay. But anyway, at this point, we're looking for this to try and make a move and hold this. If it doesn't hold this, I'm going to start to become pretty concerned. Anyway, this is Matt 5x5 taking a look at ETNL. Stay green, everybody.